Hello children, now we are going to observe the story on Never Give Up. Once a man named Jennifer was passing through a dark forest. He saw a group of elephants and stopped there suddenly. He saw that those big and powerful elephants' legs were tied with a small rope. He was wondering to see that and thought why such a big creatures are tied using a small thin rope instead of using big chains. These elephants are strong enough to break the ropes and escape from there, but still they are not trying to do so. After a few minutes, he saw a trainer and asked him, "Though they are tied with a thin rope, why are these innocent animals standing at a place and are not even making any attempt to get off?" Well, the trainer replied, "When they were very young and much smaller, we used the same size rope to tie them, and at that age it's enough to hold them. As they grew up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break away. They believe that the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free." Jennifer was amazed. These animals could at any time have broke free from their bonds, but as they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. Similar to these elephants, the number of people go through the life simply hanging on a silly belief that they cannot do anything. This makes people to fail easily without putting efforts. They must think and understand that failure is a part of learning process, and everyone need to learn not to give up while struggling in their life. From the above story, we can say that failure is a part of learning. We should never give up the struggle in life. You fail not because you are destined to fail, but because there are lessons which you need to learn as you move on with your life. Observe another story. A group of frogs were hopping around in one fine afternoon while two of them suddenly fell into a pit. When the other frogs at the top saw how deep the pit was, they told the two frogs that it would be impossible for them to come out of it. For a while, both the frogs ignored the comments and tried with all their might to jump out of the pit. The other frogs kept telling them that their attempts are of no good and they were as good as dead. Finally, one of the frogs took heed to what the frogs outside the pit were saying and gave up. It fell deeper down the pit and met his death. The other frog continued his attempt to jump out of the pit. Once again, the other frogs yelled at it to stop the pain and accept his death. He tried even harder and finally jumped out of the pit. Every other frogs were amazed when he got out of the pit. "Did you not hear us?" asked one of the frogs. One of the other frogs explained that the frog who won over his battle with death was actually deaf. The deaf frog smiled and said, "Thank you, my friends. I could not have come out of the pit without you encouraging and cheering me all the time while I was in it." From the above story, we can say that words are very powerful weapon. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Words have the potential to produce positive or negative consequences. Words have catalyzed and stirred the nations into revolution and triumph, and with a single word, the nations have succumbed to nothing. However, one good edifying word brings joy and hope to those who need it most. So, be careful of what you speak. Speak life to those who cross your path. Be an encourager. The world already has plenty of critics. So, never give up.